Hello. I think it's time to update this YouTube channel a bit because a lot has happened since last time. Now, my mouse is broken, so I have to use the touchpad on my laptop. So I'm kind of handicapped right now, just so you know. Now, we had this, obviously this liquidation event, and right now I think there is, and there's quite a lot of fear in the market right now. Talks of war in the Middle East, the yen carry trade and all of that stuff. And this 1-2 setup failed, and we ended up instead making a WXY correction. Now the wave 4 low could be in with a failed daily cycle here on a week 28 weekly cycle. However, there is still obviously the possibility because you can't really trust since we took out the low of the previous daily cycle, we should expect a lower low in September. That's the general idea. However, if this was a cycle failure into a weekly cycle low, then this thing is going to rip out of here. So really it's a 50-50 scenario right now. Either we go to new all-time highs now in August, which no one is expecting, or we will roll over, make a new low, like everyone is talking about right now. So I am leaning towards the bullish side, as I always do, because I think I think this bull market has more legs than most people realize. A lot of people think we're gonna head into a recession like any day now, and that all the markets are going to tank. I think we have several months ahead before that happens. So what I'm looking at is a 1-2-1-2 here, similar to what we did back here. 1-2-1-2. And this setup will take us to a new all-time high before falling into a wave 2. It would be a 1-2, probably down to 60k again in September. That would cause FOMO first, and then fear that the bear is back. So I believe that's the path of maximum pain, and it kind of looks similar to the 1-2-1-2 we did back here after the wave 2 was completed. We did a 1-2-1-2, and off we went in the third wave rally. Keep an eye on this. I think it's possible. Obviously no guarantees, because there is a chance that we just make a lower high than this high and fall into a new low, and then we start the next leg up. Similar thing on ADA. Now ADA took out my it wicked below my bull market support and the shit, but similar thing here. Either this is a failed cycle and it's up from here with a 1-2-1-2, or this entire correction is turning into even more complex. It's a WXY, and then we get an XZ into a lower low. But I'm leaning towards this being a failed cycle, and that it's up from here. So, but again, we have to be open to a new low in September. I also want to talk a little bit about Polkadot, which made a new low, or it went all the way back to its previous low. So this is no longer a 1-2 setup. It could be an ABC. Still, I think there are better options in the bull market. I think DOT is not something you should count on, because like this is the zone you could watch for an all-time high this cycle. But I think there are better options, like ADA, of course, and AVAX as well. It's also held a higher low. I think ICP looks good. I also think Algorand is like a great opportunity right now as a potential accumulation zone here for the next rally up. So I think that dot is probably not the best place to be during this cycle, simply because of all this this weakness here. Like, it's just not a good look. Now it did rebound very quickly, which is a positive, but now if it had managed to do a 1-2 here, it would have looked really good for this bull run, but it failed to do it, so looks like more of a corrective rally before then making new lows. Now the IVM completely destroyed my thesis, so potentially we're looking at something like this. We come down and make the wave 2 again. I don't know. If not, then I don't know what's going on here, really. I'm just gonna leave this as it is. We'll see what happens. The dollar is actually falling really nicely. Came down here, now it's up retesting the green line, and I think it has continuation down, unless it takes out the weekly cycle low here, then there is something else going on. Then no, this should roll over. I can't really imagine this being the weekly cycle low. This should roll over. Now of course it doesn't have to go this deep, it could stop here at 99. I don't have any targets really for the dollar, other than it should go lower until like November, and that should be the 3-year cycle low, roughly month 46, and after that I'm looking at higher. Now the 2-year yield also, we did break to the downside here. I do however think that the Fed might only lower 25 basis points in September, because I think they want to keep rates as high as possible for as long as possible, because whenever something breaks in the economy, the Fed can then step in. When the markets have nuked completely, then the Fed can step in and panic lower rates and start money printing and save the day, and everyone will think that the Fed is the heroes that come in and save us from a big bear market. So I don't think you're gonna get cuts into normalization and like slow rate cuts into normalization, and the markets will just go crazy. I think that will be the narrative during the first rate cuts. So you get the 25 basis point cut in September, and then the entire narrative will shift. So right now the narrative is war in the Middle East, the yen carry trade, recession. When the Fed starts to lower rates, I think that the narrative will shift. It will be talks about a soft landing, will be talks about everything being amazing again, the bull market is back on. I think you'll see new highs in the Nasdaq. I don't think we have topped out here. I think we have one more leg to go, and I wanna see that talk about a soft landing, no recession, no war, no FUD basically. Right now we are maximum FUD, which you can see like throughout this entire range here. You've had FUD throughout everything. It's been ETFs selling, grayscale, it's been Mt. Gox, it's been yen carry trade. I think the first war in the Middle East was back here somewhere, right? When Iran launched missiles towards Israel. And now there's talk about that again. Like, it's just FUD throughout this entire wave 4, which makes sense. A wave 4 should be a very negative. It should be talks about the bull market being over. And it's really it's all the sellers and the shorts and the negative sentiment that drives the last 5th wave. And as well, if this thesis plays out, that we get that this is a 1-2-1-2, and that we should see new all-time highs now in August, before then falling into a higher low, could turn out to be an extended wave 5. The wave 3s typically reach new all-time highs in Bitcoin, or they extend way beyond it, and this one didn't. So it's possible, if we get an extension in wave 5, then this wave 5 could reach quite high targets. And a lot of people are right now moving their estimates down. A lot of people are talking about 90 to 100k for the top, which is normal to be expected with all this FUD. That people they take their targets down, trying to be more conservative because they don't think that with all this fear and FUD that we can move much higher. But as we start to push up here, people will just become more and more euphoric and bullish. That's my thesis. Maximum FUD and fear right now, which is amazing. And as really this week will be make it or break it for my analysis. If this plays out, if we get a push up here towards the 68k level, then or we might sell off here. If we sell off here, then my analysis, you can scratch it off. We're going for a new low if that happens. But if we come swinging out of here, then prepare for new highs. So yeah, that's my little update on Bitcoin. I don't think the bull market is definitely not over. Even if we get another low, there is still more fuel to the upside, and I don't think the recession is gonna come tomorrow and send us into a bear market. So yeah, hope you survived the dump. Bye.